morning, Senator. Welcome to our November 20th forum.
Good morning. It's nice to see you again.
We have a short forum scheduled this morning. Everyone is busy for the holidays, and we still wanted to maintain our schedule, so it'll be brief, but it'll have some informative information. With the new legislature session beginning in January, what are some of the issues that you see facing the Commonwealth?
Well, over the past 2 years, the Senate has tackled many serious issues facing the Commonwealth. The Senate, during the previous 2 legislative sessions, we've addressed a wide range of substantive issues concerning our communities. We've reinforced our commitment to local aid by raising it by $289 million over fiscal year 2012. We fully funded special education, circuit breaker. We've passed the habitual offender legislation. We've passed comprehensive economic development in a jobs bill, a foreclosure prevention legislation, public construction bidding reform. We've passed healthcare cost containment, which included a fair share amendment that I sponsored, which prevents small businesses from being fined for their employees using alternative methods of healthcare coverage. We've done pension reform, and we've passed the VALOR Act to assist local veterans in getting credit for the skills that they've learned overseas, also for getting credit in our colleges and universities for the courses and training that they've received through the military.
During the previous legislative session, the Senate diligently worked to pass legislation that would address issues facing our communities and ensure that Massachusetts continues to move forward. However, despite these successes, there are still challenges ahead, and our recovery from the most recent recession will continue to be a long road.
The Administration and Finance Secretary Jay Gonzalez reported that the October tax receipts recently fell short by $162 million. And over the entire year, the state is $250 million behind projections. One of the negative aspects to that, those revenue projections, is that similar to last legislative session, last year, in January we had reduced the income tax from 5.25 to from 5.3 to 5.25. Up until the last October projections, we actually were meeting all the revenue benchmarks for the possible reduction in January down to 5.2, so another reduction. But now that we've come that far under the revenue projections, we won't be meeting the benchmarks. So it looks as if that further reduction of the income tax is going to have to be postponed, hopefully for only 1 year. But we were heading in a direction where we could have achieved another reduction in the income tax. So this is, besides the mid-year cuts, it affects that further reduction of the income tax.
In our joint meeting last evening between the school committee, the Board of Selectmen, and the Finance Committee, that came up.
Okay.
That we weren't reaching the benchmarks that originally were set out, and that we had to be careful with the plans and the way we were going to spend our monies and put dollars aside for possibility of building a middle school.
The administration has already issued hiring freezes, so they've taken some appropriate actions to make sure that spending is going to be controlled. But again, we haven't made the midway point through the fiscal year, so hopefully November and December tax revenues will increase to get us, help reduce the deficit and get us back on track.
The continued loss of revenue facing the Commonwealth and a possible strong impact on federal reimbursement for a number of state programs due to the expiration of federal tax cuts, the state will once again face budgetary constraints.
With the concern of revenue constraints, The state announced in October that a hiring freeze will be implemented to help control spending at the state level and to help establish a contingency plan should a fiscal compromise not be reached at the federal level. So I think this is one thing when everyone talks about the fiscal cliff that we hear being talked about on the news quite a bit, the national news. A lot of the funding that they're talking about, they're discussing there, quite a bit of that ends up coming down through the state to the local level. So, I mean, there is a direct impact on the day-to-day services that we provide to our cities and towns on monies that we receive from Washington.
The Senate will continue to use the resources of the Commonwealth wisely and diligently to assist in relieving the burdens of small business, senior citizens, families, and funding programs that make a difference every day in our communities. We will continue to seek ways to eliminate wasteful spending.
I look forward once again to meeting and hearing with the residents throughout the 2nd Worcester District to learn their issues of concern and to work together to find solutions. And what we have been doing over the last week and a half to 2 weeks, I think our first one was in Auburn, November, was it 8th? We've actually had we've continued with the tradition that we started 4 years ago. We've actually begun the turkey dinners that we've had. I think we had we had about 130 seniors at the Auburn Senior Center, which I think is more than we had last year. Every community that we've gone to has actually increased. Shrewsbury, I think we hit about 170. We had Leicester yesterday, about 140. But besides actually being able to help the seniors and provide them with a nice holiday meal, actually it's a great opportunity for us to interact with them. So we've actually been hearing a lot of their concerns and what their issues are and what they're worried about over the next several months. So we have been putting the effort out, reaching out to people and trying to make ourselves accessible.
As winter approaches, are there any options to assist our senior citizens and low-income residents with the cost of heating in their homes?
Well, as winter approaches and the cold weather continues in Massachusetts, many senior citizens are concerned as to how they will be able to keep their homes warm this winter with high heating costs.
In the Commonwealth, there is a program called the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, also known as, is it LIHEAP?
LIHEAP.
LIHEAP, which provides eligible households with help in paying a portion of winter heating bills.
Eligibility for LIHEAP assistance is based on household size and the gross annual income of every household member 18 years of age or older. Household income also cannot exceed 60% of the estimated state median income.
The program provides assistance through a fixed benefit amount for the cost of the primary source of heat, which includes oil, electricity, natural gas, propane, kerosene, wood, and coal.
If the household is eligible, discounts are automatically given on electric bills for investor-owned electric utilities, gas bills for investor-owned gas utilities, and telephone bills.
Payment for the actual usage of fuel delivery are made directly to the heating vendor for primary energy needs for November 1st to April 30th, except when the cost of heating is included in rent.
For further information on the LIHEAP program, residents may call the Executive Office of Housing and Economic Development's Heat Line at 1-800-632-8175. Again, that's 1-800-632-8175. And also, I know for the residents of Auburn, everyone should keep in mind that they should call down to their town hall, the town administrator, or town manager, or senior center, because Auburn has the Keep Auburn Warm program. So they have that assistance that's also available to people. Every community always has these community groups that are also there for assistance, which actually in these times, tough times, are very important to have.
Okay, and just a couple of other things before we close. One, we'd like to wish everyone happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, yep, happy
And
Thanksgiving.
if you're traveling, you know, there's going to be a lot of people on the road, so be careful and drive safely. And the other thing, I'd like to congratulate you and look forward to working with you and Paul Frost for
Thank
the
you.
next term.
Thank you.
You work very well together, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you, thank you, and likewise. I love working with the board in Auburn. You got the board does a great job. Actually, all the elected officials, the school committee, the board of selectmen, planning board, everyone is committed to the town. I enjoy working with the town of Auburn and everyone. I've made a lot of friends over the last 4 years, and I appreciate all their help and support. And again, I also want to just wish the football team good luck for their game, and so hopefully they'll stay undefeated playing Oxford on Thanksgiving Day. But thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.